So thank you, Katy, so much for chatting to me today. And we do lots of Zoom chats, don't we? It's a little bit different. So first of all, then, if you can tell us a bit about yourself and what you did before, maybe a bit about your family.
Okay, so before I found Arty Splats, I spent a very long 14 years working in health and safety for a local FE college, which was brilliant.
So how does Arty Splats then compare to what you did before?
It's like polar opposite. So I was in a standard 9 to 5 rut, taking work home with me, quite heavily pressured environment, big targets, things like that to me, I guess, and just stuck in one place every day, if you like. So Arty Splats is just the complete opposite. It's creative, it's flexible, it's fun, it's rewarding. I mean, the list goes on. Compared to doing health and safety, which is a fairly thankless task most of the time. Yeah. So Arty Splats is just worlds apart.
Okay.
From
just really rewarding and different.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What did self-employment offer you then in comparison to being in an employed role?
More than anything, I guess, just flexibility. Choosing your own working patterns, your own working hours, just being in charge of your own time, your own, managing your own income, all of those things. It's just, there's so much available in terms of flexible working with it, and you can go as far or as as big or as small as you want with it. So it's just got the options and the possibilities are kind of endless with it, if you like. So it brought all new challenges that you can manage compared to just being asked and told what to do all the time, I guess.
Because you are your own boss, aren't you, when you are
absolutely.
a franchisee? So I think some people wonder about what a franchise is. So ultimately you get a business in a box, if you would agree, and you've got everything you need. You're your own boss, you set your own hours, your own day, the days you want to do. You can decide if you want to do parties at the weekend or if you want to do big events. It's up to you. But then being part of a franchise, the idea is being that you get the support and you're not lonely on that journey, because it's hard being in business, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's not, not something you can just step into easily. So having that kind of support network and kind of ready-made, if you like, so all the groundwork's been done for you, and then it's just how you then run with that and develop it and build it how much you want to build it.
So why was self-employment important to you at the time then? Was that was it more family friendly, or?
So I'd had a child, my first son, and I was just looking for something that would work better for us as a family. It would give me more time to spend with him. I felt, usual mum guilt of going to work however many days a week, 9 to 5, and not being there for all those kind of key moments, really. So it was just something that would fit around us and give me more time to spend with him. I mean, what more do you want as a new mum? Really.
And has the business done what it promised to do in terms of being family friendly?
Definitely. I couldn't have asked for anything more, really. And the kids have loved it as well. Being a part of it's almost become like a family thing. And it's kind of integrated itself into us as a family, into a unit, and it has given us a whole other sort of like opportunity for the last 5 years to just spend more time together. Like, I've been able to just do so many more things I had another son in that time as well.
Busy 5 years.
that was my new feat, trying to do that at the same time. But again, how easy is that to do when you're in full time or employed status? Your own, I've been my own boss, and that's allowed me to do so many more things in terms of our family life, and being able to set my days or my holidays and things, all those sort of things, that are so restricted when you're employed by somebody else. That you take for granted, really. But it's just been amazing.
And what was it about Arty Splats itself that attracted you? Because there's lots of different franchises out there. There's lots of different opportunities. What was it about?
Absolutely, and I had looked at others that were out there and available, but I liked the creative side of it, the hands-on side of things. That every week is different. You're not going out and doing the same thing every week. So it's like doing something new all the time. Although you're doing the same thing, it brings there's a new element to it all the time, so it stays fresh. And just I love like the creative side of it and all the benefits it brings, for the children as well. Just the variety, I guess, with Arty Splats that it brings for you, and for the children really.
Is that in? So what's the variety? What variety does it offer you then? Where do you get the variety in your work?
From this, so every week at Arty Splats is a different theme. So it could be pirates, it could be under the sea, it could be dinosaurs, or and there's just a world of opportunities for different things to explore. So a lot of the materials that we might use might be the same, after a couple of weeks, but the way in which they're used, the materials and resources we use to play with those will vary. So it's kind of good fun. Finding different ways, to do things, to bring a new learning element to it, or to make it look different each time that it's used. So it's like a new experience each time for the kids, and that's quite good fun. To keep building on that and keep changing things up.
And I suppose you get to meet lots of new people all the time as well, don't you? In terms of the grown-ups coming along, the little ones. But then you build, because you've got a really strong base, haven't you, as well, in terms of your classes now. So you get to develop those relationships as you go as well.
Yeah, definitely. And that's probably, a huge part of the reward and the job. Some jobs you go to, you see the same people day in, day out. That's never the same with Arty Splats. There's those that have been with me for years, some of them, and they've been with each child that's, they've returned, and that's lovely. And you built lifelong kind of friendships and relationships with those, and you see the children grow and develop, and that's awesome. But then there's always new people coming, whether it's for 1 term or 2 terms, or they'll dip in for a term, go away and come back again. But it's just, there's a real element of community and loyalty about it all, and I think that really is telling in the way that people come back and how much love they have for Arty Splats, if you like. And just seeing different people, I mean, nans, granddads, all elements of people that come along with children is just it's brilliant. It's good to talk. Fantastic.
Okay, so obviously then people have the option of setting up themselves, and as a franchise we're very happy to speak to people. We do speak to people that say I want to set up myself, and we'll advise them and actually guide them as well. But what do you think would be the difference between setting up and going it alone, and then the experience you had with Arty Splats?
Oh wow, okay. I mean, it probably crosses everybody's minds at some stage or another, and people go, oh, this is easy, we can do this. But and I don't know, maybe I might have had that thought beforehand, before seeing what's involved. But what goes into it, and what has gone into it, what you've done, to establish Arty Splats to what it is phenomenal, really. And I think people probably really underestimate that, and the support that you need, and all the intricacies, the details of the behind the scenes stuff. I think people see it very at face value, and they see what they're served up each week, if you like, and not what it takes to put that on and put that out, and the thought processes, the learning goals that are all set behind the scenes and things like that, so that children come along and play, and that's lovely, but there's a lot that brings that to the forefront and makes that happen. So just having the support, the guidance, all those sort of things, and somebody really having done a lot of the ground and hard work before we come and make it look very pretty. If you like.
Katy, breathe.
So I think it's all of that. Just that support. I mean, it's priceless, really, I suppose.
And what do you love about Arty Splats?
What don't I love? Just everything I've already said. The creativity, the the seeing, you know, the little ones each week and how much they love it. And I suppose I love it because they love it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If I can see people loving it, you know, then you know you're doing something. You know you're doing something right. And I suppose your love kind of comes from it in that way.
Yeah.
Your passion for it, if you like, and for what's being done and what's being achieved. And seeing that then in return in the kids' faces and parents alike, or, you know, grown-ups the same. Yeah.
And they love you as well, you know, like you have made such a difference. If you think about it, it's thousands of children now you would have reached.
Yes,
difference.
I hope so. I hope, you know, that along the way that I have done something for somebody, you know, and helped along the way, or I know I have from stories, you know, and talks that I have with people. But like you say, if you just make a difference to one or two and brighten somebody's day up, then that's got to be a good thing, you know. Giving mums and grown-ups a space to come to just feel relaxed. That's probably one of the biggest compliments I ever had from a parent, was somebody who came and said, you know, it's their favourite group because they feel so relaxed coming, you know, because the children can move so freely around. They don't feel like they're being, you know, they're having to restrict their children because the way the classes work and how sort of free-flowing they are, if you like, through their structure. Or so just, you know, things like that, knowing that you make somebody at ease and feel comfortable, and maybe they're having like a really bad morning with the children, but they get there and all of a sudden they just ease, you know, it makes their day easy, then that's, you know, that's a win in my book.
Yeah. Okay, super. What's involved in running an Arty Splats franchise? You know, so I'm looking at my questions here as we go now.
That's all right, we can run on. God, what's involved?
And the time, I suppose, as well. Like, because people obviously always see the classes. And say, right, okay, so, you know, I might do 2 or 3 mornings a week, but don't necessarily then see what goes on in the background.
Yeah, there's more to it than that. There's definitely more to it than that. I suppose in the preparation of the classes, if you like, so yes, like you say, they see what they see when they come to classes, but there's time that's taken into putting those classes together, you know, sourcing materials, all that sort of thing. The planning, I suppose, like you say, the organising of your diaries and your venues, putting all that kind of stuff together. So there is a lot of behind the scenes admin side, if you want, for a better term, that's required. Some of us are better or not than others at it. It's not everyone's strong point, but you know, that's okay too. You'll find your own, people will find their own way of doing things and managing their time. So there is time involved at home in terms of, like you say, your marketing and, you know, social media, you know, networking, all that sort of thing that you need to run any successful self-employed, you know, business or franchise, if you like. So there is a lot more that goes into it than what's seen at the class. But you know, that's all good fun too, and you know, there's bits of that you know, that have to come with the job, if you like, because you know, getting what you put out, you know, or from it. So it's
you get out of it what you put in.
Absolutely.
And equally, like you say, for any business, like you literally need to put that in for it to be successful. When you've got a franchise, everything else, I suppose, is done because all the lesson plans are done, all the marketing stuff's done.
Well, absolutely, and that's again what comes into the, you know, the going it alone versus going, you know, with a franchise, is a lot of that legwork has already been done for you. You know, and the kind of the blueprints of a lot of the stuff is already there. So you know, it's not like you've got to start from scratch with everything. You know, and there's a really good team and, you know, with the other franchisees, if you like, and sharing of, you know, social media resources, all this kind of stuff that can really lend itself to making the job or the task easier. So that really helps.
Yeah, I think we do a push on efficiency, don't we? How can we do our social media more efficiently and work together? And
absolutely.
So I think we are quite forward thinking like that, where we do try and lighten the load wherever we can.
Absolutely. Like you say, just efficiency, isn't it? Of just
Would you recommend Arty Splats to other people?
Let me think. Yes, in every sense of the word.
I was a bit worried there, Katy.
You know, as a customer and as a franchisee, I don't think there's many better things that you can do with your time to, you know, earn an income, have fun, meet amazing people, change children's lives without sounding very Miss World, but I'm sure it has and does quite frequently. Yeah. So yes, would I recommend them? Very much so. Yeah. I would recommend Arty Splats.
I was speaking to her mum the other day, and she was saying that her 11-year-old daughter still speaks about Arty Splats and asks if she can go back, and she's 11.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. We hear it all the time. You get parents come along, and once their older children have moved on and they're going through the school years, and they find, they have the next child, and they come back and they say, oh yeah, so little Harry's coming along to Arty Splats, and then the older children find out, and like, I want to go back. Oh, yeah. And they get quite, they get quite jealous that their little sibling is going along to Arty Splats still. And which is the great thing about, I suppose, the holiday classes, that we can have older siblings come back, and they get to come back, and we all get to see each other, and they get to relive their Arty Splats days, if you like. So that's always lovely. Yeah. And they enjoy it as much. There's no upper age in terms of enjoyment that can be gained from it,
Yeah, and I think adults love it as well, don't they? So, this is amazing. Yeah. The groups made of this priceless therapeutic. I had, I was going to say a little one, but a child come to Arty Splats yesterday, and he was in year 1, and his mum was leaving because she brought his younger sibling, and she was saying he doesn't want to go back to school now. He just wants to come to Arty Splats.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Absolutely.
But it is as well. It's the fun element, and we make it fun. But the amount of learning that goes on in every single class, and I think that's an important message that we try and always get across, isn't it? Yes, it is messy play. I don't think the name messy play helps in that, to be honest. But the amount of learning that children do. It is phenomenal. It makes such a difference to their confidence as well.
But that's what's so lovely about it, is that that's all happening without them really realizing, if you know what I mean. And you can chat to the parents about it, and we can deliver that message still. But the kids are almost, the little ones are none the wiser, and it's all just happening. And that's what makes it so relaxed and in informal in that sense, but so much going on at the same time.
And then obviously
disguised as messy play.
And then obviously there's parties, which are good fun and high energy.
Absolutely, yes. Everyone loves an Arty Splats party.
They do.
From as a franchisee, to deliver them, and the kids, the kids alike, it's just something totally different, isn't it? And who wouldn't love it?
And it is special being asked to go along to do somebody's party as well. I always feel like quite.
It's quite it's quite an honour, isn't it? Quite right to go along and share in those kind of milestones with them. And be kind of built into their memories, if you like, of those that birthday. That that's on my 3rd birthday, I had that Arty Splats party. It was brilliant, and all those keepsakes that they have from these things. That's the other lovely thing about Arty Splats. Obviously, people build up this physical memory through the keepsakes, the art pieces that they do with us and stuff like that. So you're living immortalized on somebody's kitchen wall, or a fridge somewhere through a handprint they did at Arty Splats, and that's quite special too.
I always say to my mummies, daddies, carers, etc. now, don't forget to put age and little one's name on the back, because I've now got 2 children and I don't actually know which child
some of them are not That's it. Absolutely. Name and date and age, everything.
Because when you have your first, you don't necessarily think you're going to have a second.
No, exactly.
So I always give that piece of advice now from my own mistake. I think in terms of then support, then have you felt well supported on the journey?
Absolutely. So yourself, Jo, you've been amazing from day dot. I came into this I never worked for myself before, or been my own boss, and you've literally kind of held my hand where it needed holding, and let me go when I needed to go, and all that sort of thing. So supporting in all the right ways, and knowing all the right things to do, when I was at a loss, or and being there for all the achievements and things like that. The support has been amazing from day one right till to the last minute, I'm sure. So that's all. I can't speak highly enough of how much you've provided, as the franchisor, if you like, and as a friend as well, so
you get me emotional now.
No, I speak my truth.
What will you miss about Arty Splats then?
About everything. No, this is a tricky one. Don't choke me up. In my heart, from my heart, I was everything. There is not a single thing that I won't miss, even down to the preparation and the washing and all those things that go into it, even all the yucky bits, you know, that come into it. What aren't I going to miss? I honestly don't even know how to put that into words, really, because I don't know. I know I'm going to miss everything. Not sure how life's going to be afterwards, if you like. That's not where I can't imagine really life without Arty Splats. I'm going to have to try and fit something in. Maybe have another child. I don't know. So I can back.
Just maybe a puppy.
Yeah, no. Can we do that? Just borrow a child and come along. I can't imagine my life without Arty Splats at this point yet. I will miss everything. I'll miss all the people. I'm going to have to start doing creative stuff at home on my own to fill that void. You know, all those things. Just
And we'll have to keep in touch, Katy.
So much. Oh, absolutely.
No, we're going to have to.
No, I know, we will.
On Zoom just check in, saving.
Yeah, that's it.
What advice would you have for a new franchisee?
As a franchisee, I mean, you need to be organised. There's no doubt about that. You know, for all the stuff that goes into it from behind the scenes, your organisation skills need to be kind of on the point. But really, I think you just need to be, in terms of the delivery, if you like, just approachable, friendly, ready to push yourself out of your comfort zone at any time, a shoulder to cry on. You know, I mean, what don't you know to be? It's everything, isn't it? You know, just supportive and creative and a ball of energy. That's what you need to be an Arty Splats franchisee. Is you need to be or have a ball of energy at all times. I
think it's the same with any business. You've got to have this kind of like resilience
and drive to push forward all the time. Yeah, absolutely. And I think being your own boss and being self-employed is kind of self-motivating, isn't it? You know, if you don't put that effort in, if you don't do that day when you don't feel like doing it, then you know you're not getting anything out of it at the end, if you like. So there has to be a lot of self-motivation, self-discipline, I suppose, if you like, because nobody's going to come and do it for you. And you're not drawing that paycheck at the end of it if you don't, you know. So it comes down to that thing, you know, you get out what you put in again. So you've got to be very self-driven and motivated, I think.
Because we'll encourage, won't we? And we'll have Zoom chats, phone calls, etc. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I can't do it for you. I'm not going to set.
No, it comes down to you as an individual, you know, to do all of that stuff. And as much as you have all the fun stuff, and there is a lot of that involved, you know, there is the more important side of what drives it behind, you know, or you know what brings all that to the front. So there's kind of two very different facets to it, if you like, and there's that very more disciplined, you know, business side, and then you have all the fun stuff that comes as a result of that you can enjoy as a result of all that hard work at the back.
And because it is customer facing as well, like you say, that is definitely the fun bit, isn't it? Like we have
absolutely
facing. But in the background, you've got to order new materials, like you say, you've got to communicate with your venue, you've got to pay your invoices, you've got to do your social media, you've got to respond to your customers. So there is kind of like quite a lot in the background. I always say that's pretty much the tip of the iceberg. It's like the best bit and the most fun bit, but behind it there is a lot of other stuff. So I think we're very honest with people that are coming along and wanting to invest in becoming an Arty Splats franchisee, the reality of it. But the good thing is, I find as well, I can do all my emails and I can do all of those things around the kids.
That's obviously, that is the luxury, you know, that's the big selling point, isn't it? You know, it doesn't matter if you do, you know, you want to do it in the day because the kids are busy or the kids are sick or, you know, things like that. But, you know, you put them to bed, you can sit there for an hour in the evening and do it. It's you can build it in and around your day, around your life, you know, your life, and, you know, it can be adaptable and flexible around all of those things. And as I say, that's kind of a huge selling point, isn't it, in itself? Is you make it fit around you, and what you're doing and your children and all those things. Like I said, the things that I've been able to do, and things that like doing like school runs, doing school plays, all those things, sports days that, you know, you'd normally have to ask, or, you know, if you're employed, you'd have to ask somebody else's permission to go and do, you know, and it would depend if there was enough people and all those sort of things, which sound, you know, quite trivial when you say it, but actually they're all, you know, milestones of your own children that you want to be able to be a part of, and that, or this Arty Splats allows all of that.
Super. Well, I think we're running out of time, Katy, as well, but is there anything else you'd like to add?
Just that anybody who is out there that wants to take this on, do it. I have no regrets. I have no, you know, nothing bad to say. I have no, no regrets of anything. And if it wasn't for life changes and things changing for me, then, you know, would I still be doing Arty Splats? Very possibly. But there's new things for me to look forward to, which means it's time to pass the baton on to somebody else. And it would be amazing if somebody else could take that on, because there's so many children around here that love Arty Splats, and you would have the most amazing time doing it. Do it. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Do it. Just do it. You'll love it, every minute of it.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.